From the backstretch at Saratoga, this is Loose on the Lead with Steve Bick and Seth Merrow. Loose on the Lead is sponsored by
morning and welcome to Loose on the Lead on a Sunday morning here at Saratoga. What was a rainy Sunday morning, but now it's kind of cleared out and forecast is for improvement as the day goes along. So knock wood, we'll hope that is the case. As usual on a Sunday morning, joined by Steve Bick, although last week down at the Haskell, Callie Francois ably stepped into your shoes, but we're happy to have you back. And we're happy to start the show this morning with our friend John Velazquez. Wanted Johnny in today because we have an event coming up tonight benefiting one of the most worthwhile charities involved in racing, PDJF, Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund. It's going to be across the street. It is the annual karaoke event, and so we wanted you to talk about it. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And let's set it up. It's across the street at Vapors, and as I say, it's one of the most worthwhile charities in horse racing, PDJF.
No, thank you for having us. Yes, it's one of the events that we do get to raise a lot of money for the PDJF, and like I always said, it's 2025 and we still don't have a guaranteed funding for the guys and girls who get hurt on the racetrack, and this is the opportunity for us to raise a lot of money and help those guys and girls, and it's a lot of fun. And we're not very good singers, but we put a good show out there. We entertain people. I think it's a great way to put it, to entertain people, and people come and enjoy it. So I hope I hear that we sold a lot of tickets and we're almost sold out. So I think if you want to come in, you still can come in. Just not going to have a seat, but at least you can come in.
And I think we have a little video from last year that will give an indication of how much fun it is.
How ridiculous?
Well, I was going to ask though, you and your wife typically perform. You planning to again this year?
Yes, we're doing that. Yeah, we always open the show. We were the first one to open because everybody gets nervous, so we have to at least put it. So we put the bar really low for everybody else. But at least my wife can sing a little bit. Me, I just can't. I just follow whatever it is she wants me to do. But it's entertaining. I think it's really nice for us to put something like that. And it's going to be another night that it's going to be very nice. Yeah.
But we talk, and you can see from the video, it's a lot of fun and a lot of laughs and whatnot. But as I understand, a couple of jockeys are okay.
Yeah, there are a couple of them can sing, but so a couple of them did not sing in tonight though. That's the only thing. So I think the crew that we have today is going to be a lot of fun.
And I had a web address to the PDJF to purchase ticket. Now, if people go online, can they still get tickets, or is it at the door?
I believe so. You still get online, but I think if you go at the door, it'd be a lot easier.
Okay.
It's just going to be entrance, ticket. I think all the seats are sold out, but I mean, it would be nice for anybody who wants to come in and enjoy the show just to come in and pay just the whatever it is to get in.
Doors open at 6. There's a VIP buffet at 6 as well, and the show will kick off at 7:45 is doors open for the next group of folks, and then 8 p.m. things will kick off. And again, it's right across the street, the Harness Track Vapors nightclub. It's always a lot of fun. And is this year the East Coast versus West Coast still with?
That's still going, yes. So we have this one now, and I think it's a week later for the West Coast to do it as well. So it'll be a lot of competition.
And folks can watch the West Coast online and then vote.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We do the same thing here too. So people watch it here and then vote for it. So and then see who wins the the contest from between the East and the West.
Yeah. So make sure you vote, Steve.
Johnny, a couple of things. I mean, this has become really from sort of modest roots. It's become a great fundraiser, and I want you to talk about one person. Actually, I got two people to bring up with you today. First of all, Nancy LaSalle, who is retiring after I mean, as far as I know, I think she's been the only.
We started this together,
right?
When we took over the PDJF, actually, we separated the Jockeys Guild and the PDJF. So when I came in, we took over, and then we separated one or the other one. So we made sure the people were donating money straight to the PDJF for the guys and girls who get hurt on the racetrack, separately from the Jockeys Guild, you know. And this is
Yeah.
how we started doing back. And we launched this in Pimlico, and I was hurt. I remember I was hurt. I think it was 2005 or 2007, around there. That she and I and a bunch of us started the fund, and she's been amazing for the fund. I mean, without her, we wouldn't have what we have today, a very organized PDJF fund for those guys and girls who get her on the racetrack. So she's amazing. Yes, amazing woman. She put all her heart and soul into it. She just retired, but without her, we wouldn't have it. Yeah.
There's always about 60 riders that are supported by PDJF, and it's not just afternoon jocks, it's exercise riders as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anybody whose mobility has been impacted, by accidents. It's just one of those things that is absolutely vital to the maintenance of the game. It's a safety net that, by all rights should be even better funded by the industry. And it relies on all of us to donate.
Oh, absolutely. And then this is a thank you for you guys, keeping the awareness and helping, promote the event. Because it's the way that we actually raise funds, for the PDJF. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the funds. There's no guarantee fund for it, So this is the way for us to continue funding it.
And again, that had the website up there that had the purchase tickets portion of the website, but you can just go to pdjf.org and make a donation. If you can't make it over here, it's definitely a worthwhile cause. So I wanted to tout that for tonight over there. It's an annual event, always a lot of fun. All the people who go over say plenty of laughs to be had. And
yes, it's a fun event. I mean, we dressed up, we do the costumes and everything. It makes up for the singing.
Exactly.
How much practicing do you do?
We have not practiced very much this year, though. It's been a lot of hectic things, and normally we do practice in our house, and for family reasons we couldn't do it this year. So everybody kind of practicing on their own.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a fun event no matter what. I think it's going to be one of those that we're going to laugh a lot of it.
And there's a panel of judges. So at the end of the night, there's a thumbs up or thumbs down.
We will have Angel Cordero, the Cherry, Grand Motion, and Randy. I forgot Randy's last name, but he's an owner of All Horses.
Oh, Surf from LSU?
Yeah, for LSU.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Nice.
it'll be a fun night for them to come back, and especially for Angel to come back. Angel was one of our first judges, and actually Grand Motion as well. So just to have him back and as a judge, it'll be great. Yes.
Excellent. So again, that's tonight, right across the street. Papers will start at 8. And again, you can show up at the door and get in, and highly recommended to go over there, not just for the entertainment, but for the PDJF as well. And Johnny, also wanted to talk to you about on track a little bit. Pulled up some races, and one was from yesterday because I wanted your thoughts on. This was a nice debut effort from the Todd Pletcher runner in yesterday's 7th. Maiden specials going 6th. Tommy Joe, that was a really nice effort. What were your impressions of
Actually
Tommy
was. I mean, and Todd told me on the paddock because I think I got you on the good one.
Joe? He wasn't kidding.
Yeah. They told me, so like, I think we got you on the good one. So, it's like, I didn't work here, so I didn't know very much about it. Just, just break it where she's come to, and she's supposed to take you where she wants to. And that's exactly what it was. I kind of asked it to break from the gate. And after, 100 yards, she already knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
It was very nice. Very impressive. Very impressive, yes.
And you said 100 yards from the gate, you knew, but when did you really feel like, oh, this is really something special?
I mean, like 100 yards after the
Yeah.
I mean, they're really slowing down because she got up to them like really easy, and I had to get hold of her so she didn't pass everybody around the turn too early, though. I thought, okay, I better reserve a little bit, though, because it's their 2-year-olds, and you let them do too much of the first body and they don't finish. But I got a good hold of her to let her know that I was managing a little bit, and by the protocol, just let it do it. Very nice, very impressive, and galloped out very well. Yeah,
it was absolutely impressive, really nice. And I pulled up a couple of other races because it's kind of interesting. You've been bouncing around the country about countries the last few weeks. I pulled up a replay going back to the 20th up in Woodbine. You won the Woodbine Oaks with no time. How'd you wind up at Woodbine and jumping on board the Marquesi trainee?
No time, yes. This is funny because 2 weeks before the race, I think it was about a week and a half. He said, you're gonna go and win the Oaks for me in Canada." Man, it's so nice when you go, but to go to the paddock. It's like, I think I got you a new one. So a week and a half before that
2 weeks
race,
before, even better.
I was like, he said, like, "You're gonna go and win the Oaks for me in Canada." I was like, "No kidding." It's like, yeah, you're gonna win the Oaks for me. So I have a couple of the horses. They had some speed, and I think the horse liked to be in this on the lead. But there's a couple of ones that are gonna be on the lead, and he was right on. Though I tell you, it's like the speed went on, and she settled behind them, and asking her to put a pole, and she responded very nicely. So very impressive. Yeah.
And Ontario bred, and it's not unusual. Have you heard maybe it's moving on to the King's Plate?
Yeah,
Of course.
I mean, whatever's there. I mean, I think they run faster than the Colts. I'm
They
not
did.
sure. That's what I was told.
They did.
So, she was very impressive. I think she can handle the Colts the way she runs the same way that she run this time. She'll be very impressive. Yeah, she'll be very tough. Yeah.
And finally, I pulled up again, going back a few more weeks, July 5th. You were out at Horseshoe Indy. You were on the Fletcher runner, Tip Top Thomas, in the Indiana Derby. Tip Top Thomas here is going to be the number 6 horse. Reflect on this victory in the Indiana Derby.
This horse is speed horse. So I know there was a speed on the race, and he's not a great break from the gate, but I mean, 2 jumps later he goes. I did not want to be head and head with the other horse and end up being head and head with the other horse. Anyway, but I love what he did down the lane, though. I mean, the other horse came to me. The other horse come to him, and he fought the whole way down the lane. I was very impressed by that because after going pretty quickly the first part of the race, and the other horse got next to him in the 316 ball, and he put the head in front, and he was not letting that horse go by him. So, and a decent horse. That horse run on the Kentucky Derby and all the preps right. So, very impressive for
that was
young,
cold battle.
Yeah. Very nice.
Nice performance there. And as I was putting this together, I was wondering, have you ever sat down and counted the number of tracks you've ridden at?
No, I have not actually. This is another question that actually Frank and I were talking yesterday. It's like I've been going to tracks that I've never heard before or never been before. He was supposed to go to Hawthorne yesterday, I think, or today actually. And I said, well, enjoy it. I haven't been there, I don't know, maybe 20 years. So, but there's tracks that you go in and out. They have a big race, and for people that you ride for, and you end up going, for the people you ride, and you forget about it. I mean, Ohio Derby. I went to Ohio in 1991, my first year going there, and I've been there 3 times. Finger Lakes, I've been twice. So the places that you don't get to visit very much, but and then you forget about it. No, Indiana was perfect. I was there once, and I didn't remember it.
And I was curious about that, whether you do and you sat down ever and kind of and internationally, you've been in Europe, obviously, you've been in Dubai. Have you ridden in Asia, the Hong Kong or Australia?
I've been in Japan. I'm in Australia. I've ridden in Australia, Japan, obviously Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and Ireland, which is in England, obviously. But Ireland was my first year to go and last summer, and I wanted to go back this year, but again, family situation didn't allow it. But I love to go back to Ireland, and since Leona's family, from both sides of the family.
Oh, right.
From there.
O'Brien's.
So, yes, O'Brien's and Smith. So, mom and dad, all from Ireland. So, I'd love to go back and win a race in Ireland. So, hopefully, I get to do that next year. Please, God, yeah.
Very good. Steve?
Johnny, I got a bunch of things for you. This filly yesterday, at some point, she may intersect with Cy Fair.
Well, let's wait. You know what I always say? Let's wait until you get to that break to see what happens.
Well, at least, and the nice thing is, chances are, I think Cy Fair will show up in the Adirondack.
Yes.
And there may be time, but you basically have landed on 2 of the top fillies that we've seen.
2 different surfaces too.
There you go.
That's my
go.
plan, that we can keep one on the other one in different surface. So that will be the key for us to keep both all the way to the end of the year. Yeah.
Talk about Antiquarian and the development, and because it seems like he's progressing.
He always keeps improving, though. Yeah. I think there's something that he still has not given me, and I don't know if he, I hesitate to put some blinkers on because he can be aggressive the first part of the race. But he seems to get to the second turn and kind of gets lost for whatever reason. And then he comes down the lane again. But he's definitely improving. I love everything he's doing. He keeps trying every step, and every race he steps up for another level. So hopefully he can continue doing that. He's still a little bit immature, I believe. Yeah.
All right, there's still upside.
Yeah.
Two horses that are basically at the top of their respective divisions. Ag Bullet for Richie Baltus, and then talk a little bit about She Feels Pretty from last week.
Well, She Feels Pretty is amazing, though. So again, she just got beat a little bit. I think the soft grass, she runs great. She just got beat for another good horse, though.
Yeah.
But it's not her best surface, though. And I think she still run a great race. And Richard Baltus filly, I just was lucky to be here for Belmont Week, and I got on it, and what a job he's done for her. They told me she was going to be a really nervous horse and all this stuff and everything. She was fantastic from the time I got on it. So, don't know what he's going to point it out for. I'd love to see what he's going to do with her, but I think he's pointed to some race in Kentucky Down, but I'm not sure, though, But what a horse! She was very impressive when she ran here at Belmont Week.
Yeah, big time. We can talk about some upcoming mounts, but it's actually opportune that you're with us this morning. Dick Allen goes in the Hall of Fame later today in Cooperstown.
Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, yeah.
I want you to talk about Dick and your relationship with him and his brothers, your first agent, and just incredibly frustrating.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
It made me cry. Look,
I don't.
Richie Allen is the reason that I'm here. Richie Allen was at Angel Cordero's house on vacation, and Angel just came from Puerto Rico with one of my tapes, races that I won in Puerto Rico. I just won 5 races in Puerto Rico, and my agent and Angel are very good friends. So he came in with the tape, and he was watching the tape at his house. And Richie was there. I was like, man, I like this kid. This kid looks like he has some talent. And Angel says to him, very nonchalant, well, I don't have an agent for him. And he kind of hard, to bring him here. He doesn't speak the language. He's still cold. But I don't know what to do with him. And Richie goes and said to him, like, I'll be his agent. Bring him here. He's never been an agent, but he loved horse racing. He loved that in horses. His brother was a trainer, and he's very familiar with racing, though. He told Angel, like, bring him out of his agent, though, And Angel looked at me, are you sure you want to do this? He calls my agents, can you send that kid tomorrow? And that's how it happened, though. So it was a thing, luck, faith, whatever you want to name it. And I think he was very misunderstood by the media, or I don't know.
The baseball writers.
Softer spoken person that you ever met. Beautiful person, in and out. He'll take anything out of this, he'll give it to you. And I didn't speak very much English. I didn't speak any English, and then I had to learn English just to be, around, just being around with him and driving around, and the little that I understood and everything. But every time he left, he come back. He'll go to Tampa. He'll go to anywhere to meet me, whatever that road that he could be there, and it was like a father figure to me. He'll come and hug me, and so proud of me, and that's like I'm proud of him. Because without him, I wouldn't be here. And I think it's sad that he's going into the Hall of Fame, that he's not alive now, but at least he's getting what he deserves, though. And I'm very proud that he got there, but he didn't get to see it. But at least his family get to see it. And they get to enjoy it. But I'm very proud of it. I really wanted to go to the Hall of Fame. I wish I could. I just the commitment here probably is not going to let me, go. But I was planning to go. I really do. I don't know if I can make it, but I owe everything to Richie. Yeah.
That really is fate, though.
Yeah.
Somebody who has him in a train. Hey, I love the video I'm watching of this guy.
He said to Angel, it reminds me. Him and Angel know each other for for a long time, and I guess they knew when Angel was at the beginning on the 60s, whatever the first year he came here, and him. Was doing really well in baseball, and they knew each other. And they said, it reminds me, when you were, a young rider. I didn't look anything like Angel, I don't think so. But he said, reminds me of you when you were younger riding. So, and that's what, the next day, called Puerto Rico, sent the kid here. I was here a week later, my agent over there, let me finish this week with him. I won 2 more races, and I was lucky enough that when I came in, I came here with 7 pounds, not with 10 pounds. So kind of give me a little break, come in here with 7 pounds and have people that, okay, he won a few races in Puerto Rico and maybe give him a chance. And that's how it worked out. So without Richie, it wouldn't be John Velazquez here in New York. That's for sure.
That really is fake. Yeah.
And for those that didn't get the specific, we're talking about Dick Allen, who, as Johnny mentions, had a fitful relationship with the baseball writers. It delayed his his election into the Hall of Fame, and then for him to be gone. In fact, there's 2 players today, not just Dick Allen. Dave Parker also goes in, and Dave just died within the last 100 days. I mean, give or take. Was stricken with Parkinson's. But Dick Allen, waited and waited. His brother's gone too. Hank's gone too now.
He has,
and so Hank isn't even around to enjoy it. But his Dick's son and the rest of the family.
One of the daughters is still around. So, hopefully they get to, be part of it, this ceremony, and be there. That's what I said. I would love to be there, just to be part of it. I mean, without Richie. And then again, I call him Richie. That was
because he was Richie. Then he became later on. He became
I knew him, and he was like my father. Whatever I went, and he's so proud of me and seeing all the things that I've done. He could whatever racetrack he could go to see me. In Tampa was one of those racetracks that he will go all the time because
Clearwater.
Exactly.
The Phillies were in Clearwater, and so he could come right to over to Oldsmar.
Had to be in a big race, whatever it's for Tampa. He'll be there, make sure that he comes and see me and hug me and talk to me and be part of it. Even if we just spend 5 minutes together, it was great to have him around. Yeah.
And you called him Richie the rest of his life. You never switched over to calling him Dick.
I was calling Richie because when I came,
that's amazing.
That's
amazing.
And then when I get to know him, I was calling Richie. So that's like my father. That's like I would say call Richie. Yeah.
I wanted to get him on the show. I think maybe when one of your milestones, and I wanted to get him on the radio, and this probably goes back 10 years. I got his number. I forget who got me the number, and I called him and left a message. And Tina and I were driving to Cortland to see Zachary play football. And we're driving into Cortland, and I look down, and the phone's ringing, Dick Allen. I said, Tina, I got to pull over and take this call. I got to tell you, my heart was pounding. To talk to Dick Allen was such a thrill. He kind of he said, let me think about it. He said, probably not. But then from after that, we had a text relationship for the rest of his life. And
the thing he's
an amazing guy.
What people don't know about him, he was a very shy person.
Yeah.
He was a very shy person, and it wasn't like he didn't want to talk to media. I don't want to tell you, no, he was very reserved to himself, And if you knew him personally, I mean, he was a lovely, lovely person, and he was very, very soft-spoken. He's so he's always speaking to you, like he's almost telling you a secret. It was like that. But because he was a very shy person, and if he liked you, I mean, he'll go to see you and talk to you forever, and he told you all the stories about it. He was really good, but you really have to know his personality for him to open up and talk to. So he was very shy to the media, and I think that's why he was misunderstood too when people asked him for anything in the media, and he did not want to talk to the media. He didn't want to be part of it, and that was his personality, and that's probably what it took him so long, to get into the Hall of Fame, because it was misunderstood.
That was good.
Thanks, we appreciate it.
And we appreciate you stopping by, review some of the races, talk about some of the nice performances over the past month or so, and certainly got lots of good performances still to come up here at Saratoga, where you have been a fixture for a number of years, and it's always fun to watch a John Velazquez winner's circle appearance up here at Saratoga. So many more to come, I'm sure, during the meet. But we wanted John today particularly to promote the PDJF event across the street. Again, at Vapors tonight, 8 p.m. Stop by. There'll be tickets available at the door. You can swing by the website and check out tickets there. But we're looking for you. We're looking for you to get maybe some votes on you and Leone get some votes from the from the judges.
Yeah. We'll have a good show with her. She knows it's always come with something fancy and funny. So it's going to be good. It's going to be very good. Yes. It's going to be a joke. Thank you guys for having me and
Thanks,
and promoting the event as well.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
We appreciate your stopping by because, again, it's a very worthwhile charity. And, again, if you can't make it over, you can go to the PDJF website as well, pdjf.org. You can make a donation there. John, thanks.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll take a break. More from Loose on the Lead when we continue. Stay tuned.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
For centuries, the bond between horse and human has been forged in trust and hands-on care. Now the sport of thoroughbred racing is combining those timeless traditions with cutting-edge technology to raise our standards of equine safety to the highest level. Wearable biometric devices measure subtle changes in a horse's stride to help optimize safety and performance. State-of-the-art imaging technology helps pinpoint areas of potential concern for early intervention by expert veterinarians. And the sport's new independent regulator, the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority, is using AI and enhanced data modeling to help prevent injury.
Opening quarter mile was a quick one.
From sunrise to sunset, there's an ecosystem of trust and care and a commitment to well-being. So win or lose, it's safety that runs first. To learn more, visit safetyrunsfirst.com.
We're back on Loose on the Lead. I did catch you yesterday, by the way, with Callie on that miscount, the bad count. That was great. That was classic. Back on this Sunday morning, the rain seems to have dissipated. It's supposed to get nicer, and the sun comes out when Ron Anderson arrives.
Oh, wow. That's a big
look at
statement.
You. Sunny disposition.
Well, we try to have it. In this game, doesn't always pop out.
Well, it's actually the damage obviously has been done. We're off the turf, except for the stake, and I'm going to assume that we're good now for the Glens Falls.
Well, around here, you never.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
No, it's supposed to rain yesterday, and that never happened.
Exactly.
So that was a good event.
It's the craziest place for weather that I've obviously ever been. Yeah. Kentucky's crazy too, but this is real crazy.
Ron, we can talk a lot. We can talk about the first third of the meet so far, and certainly Joel off to a very, very good start, riding really well, noteworthy. Frankie had to miss a little bit the first few days. Yeah. But now is starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm.
Yes, we're looking forward to going, the next few weeks. And then Kentucky Downs, where they both, Frankie was second there last year. He'd never been there before. Joel holds the record there. I don't think they'll ever be beaten 17 or 18 wins in 5 days. So that I tell people there's a very different knack to ride in that place. And for anybody that's never been, you got to go there. It's just unique to like nothing else we have in this country. But to ride that place, being honest, some people are lost. So I have two guys that obviously can get around there, and we're looking forward to all that too.
Well, and it's amazing. I've been saying this the last, almost a month. Every winning trainer that I have on during the week, if it's a turf horse and it's a turf stake recap, and we talk about what might lie ahead, every single one, whatever division, the 2-year-olds, the older horses, short, long, everyone is saying, well, and then we want to get to Kentucky Downs.
Well, that's the big apple in the sky right now.
Crazy.
Yeah, the purses are astronomical. So everybody, owners, trainers, jocks, agents, are kind of, obviously focusing that direction. So we'll see.
And for folks who aren't familiar, it's more of a European feel and undulations. So it's for a race fan, watching a race is an experience too.
Yes, very much so. It's unique. If it's not raining, it's a little more speedy. If it rains, there's a lot of spots you need to be on the course to work, to have your horse run well. So there's a lot of intricacies going on here with every handicapping, riding, everything. And then the other fact, like maiden race, either than two of them, they're going to way overfill.
Yeah.
So every
race gets 35 horses enter, and then they stack them up. It's a ship-in meet. Yeah. You come in the morning of, or maybe the night before, depending on how far you're coming. For those of you that have the reference to, if you've never been, you can fly into Nashville, or you can fly into Lexington or Louisville and come down.
Nashville is probably the
best.
Closest and the best. And if anybody's never been to Nashville, that's a whole experience in itself. It's a happening town. There's a lot going on there. So to come in and plan a trip to spend a couple of days racing and go to Nashville is, I would advise.
And actually, Callie, Francois was on the feed last year. Callie's next, and she could actually comment about it as well. You mentioned the handicapping aspect. We didn't expect to necessarily head off in the Kentucky Downs direction, but there is an element of randomness to it, just because horses that are running there for the first time, they're going to come down a hill. And I try to explain this every year. Horses' greatest fear in life is falling down, because that's when they're susceptible in the wild to basically being mauled by, the kind of things that pursue them, mountain lions and so forth. So their footing The reason some horses excel on a surface switch is because they immediately feel confident in the footing. If they don't feel confident, they will not put out. They will be tentative. They'll take mincy steps. And so you have horses get up this crest of that hill, and now suddenly they're coming down a hill, and some will leap with abandon, and others will start taking these little dainty steps because they're scared. And one of the best angles of Kentucky Downs, horses that have run well there, send it in, because they'll run there well again. Snapper Sinclair for Asmussen.
There's a knack to getting up hills and down hills, which we don't have anywhere else but there, pretty much.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be you want to be gathering one up when they're in what would you call it, an area or a spot where they're be pushing on them. Let them get through it, and a guy that gathers the horse up is probably beneficial on a race course like that. And there's all kinds of little other intricacies too, but it's a fascinating place. And because of the size of fields, you're going to get value, even if you bet a favorite. And the pick threes and the pick fours and the pick fives. Like I tell people, you don't have to get involved for $10 tickets or something. Just small tickets, they're going to pay well there. Always do.
And look at one terrific handicapping maxim. Go back for the last 2-3 seasons. Go back and look at what they call the winner's book, and look at charts from the previous year. I mean, you're only talking about 6 days of racing times 10 races. So in terms of preparing for it, leading up toward Labor Day, it doesn't take a tremendous amount of work. Just go back and look at the races from the previous year or two, and you'll get a feel. And the outfits that do well there, they point for it. They know the condition book and what to expect. And like any seasonal race meet, a lot of it is repetitious. I mean, there's certain harmonies from meet to meet, from year to year.
The ground is very, very essential though too.
Yeah.
If it's firm, want to be a little more forwardly placed, like I said. But if it rains,
and it can rain, or it can be drought.
There a couple of days, and bumped them along because we're so wet. But that's another. I'm a big believer that a firm turf and a soft turf, kind of nobody knows a whole lot about.
There you go.
And European breds are not necessarily there because they run for less money. So not everybody sends, so it's a little different puzzle.
Well, and here's a perfect parallel you say about the money. For instance, today in the Glens Falls, now you would think that the top finishers here, that they might point for something at Kentucky Downs, but La Mahena, French bred, No Show Sammy Joe, British bred, Sakaya French bred, Ireland breds, etc. Beletza, Immensitude is French bred. You got to be a Kentucky bred, because the added monies that are involved, it comes from the KTDF, the Kentucky Thoroughbred Development Fund.
So they run for about half if you're
right,
Kentucky,
which is still a lot.
I mean, there's $2 million races or $4 million. So if you run them for 1 or 2 rather than 2 or 4, it's still a lot.
Yeah. Boo-hoo, I'm only running for $1 million.
Yeah, right.
Ron, I always think at this time of year we get new fans who kind of get developed by coming up to the races here and kind of jumping in and thinking, hey, this sounds like a lot of fun. So some people aren't familiar with the game overall, and certainly there are people that maybe not familiar with Ron Anderson, kind of the gold standard of jockey agents over the years. But I'll just let you explain, what does a jockey agent do for people who aren't familiar?
I'm like an actor's agent. I'm the in-between person between the trainer and the owner and the jockey. So I organize what they're doing, and like I tell people, it's a juggling act. There's no blueprint for what I do. I can't tell you, go read this book and you can do it. It's kind of trial and error. Like I tell people, you could say the same thing to 2 different people, and one guy's liable to get fighting mad and the other guy's liable to be fine with it. So you got to know personalities, and at the end of the day, you got to hope you're on the right horse to keep your your client happy, the guy that signs the check. And so I've been lucky enough to work for a lot of good riders, over the years. So they make my job very, very easy at times. But then at one point it's a little more difficult. Like I said, you're juggling a lot of stuff.
What's a typical day like for you up here?
Well, it's not the same as it was for years. Get up at, 6-ish, get out here in the golf cart by maybe 6:30, 6:45, run around in that, my riders around, Joel and Frankie with works, then kind of get home maybe 10:30 or so, 10:15, 10:30, do my homework on the condition book for the races we're entering 6 days out, take a look at the card, get the scratches, and come back with a table upstairs. I like to be there kind of quiet when we draw the races. Then up here, as everybody knows, it's at least most of the nights a week you go out to eat. It's a racetrack town. Everybody's talking racing. It's fun. It's real fun.
I think that's right. Were you last night? You and Frankie over at Katie Day? That was fun, man. That was jammed last night.
It was. They brought a lot of people out for sure.
Yeah, the parking lot was packed, and it was. I think the harness guys kind of played the crowd a little bit because both finishes were like that. Everybody was very happy. But you mentioned it's a little bit different. Has technology changed things for your job?
For sure.
Yeah.
For many, many years, we'd have to come in to a racing office at a designated time, which could fluctuate, and stand there while they drew pills and drew the races. Now we're on a Zoom call, so we could kind of be anywhere, and it's way better. I lobbied for it before it came up because I thought between the press, sometimes, press guys will say to me, can you tell me when they draw the stake or whatever, what post and how many and I'd have to call somebody. They can chime in, an owner, and these big, groups of owners. It creates excitement. It creates enthusiasm. So I think it's great. And then for our benefit, we don't have to stand around. Sometimes they'll have a 2:00 draw, and then they'll get involved with trying to hustle a horse. We're there from like 2:00 to 3:15. We're bothering them when they're trying to hustle a horse or whatever. So it's very progressive, and it was due to come.
What's a jockey agent's life like when there are a couple of trainers who want your jockey?
Well, first off, my big belief is you got to be on the right horse. Second off, you got to keep the guy happy that you took off, and sometimes that's not easy. The really good agents can do it and not make people mad, and so the next time they have a live horse, they come back. Yeah. But it's no easy.
No, to me that would be the one part of a jockey agent's life that would be the obstacle when a couple of guys are going, hey, I want you, and one of them has got to go in the other direction. Right. Steve?
Ron, when you say you want to be on the right horse, I'd love for you to explain your handicapping method and also the tools that are a little bit unusual that Thorough Manager and the Black Box talk about. Some of the lesser, less publicized tools that are utilized.
Well, lots of times anymore, currently, you better be politically correct. Like if you got an option to ride one for a guy that's got 100 horses or 80 horses, and a guy that has 25 horses, you got to sometimes give up the lesser guy to ride for a bigger outfit that there's more at the end of the day with them. As far as tools and stuff, hands-on for me, like if Joel or Frankie works something in the morning that's hands-on, good, bad, or indifferent, I want some input. There's lots of times I'll work on this one's no good. That's perfect for me, because when a guy comes to ask me, I've already looked for something else. Now, things are different from the morning to the afternoon, but that hands-on. I'm a big in handicapping, just for everybody. I'm a big turn back guy. I think horses that turn back sometimes are an advantage, and sometimes they're a price because they've ran long, and it's a bad race generally. That's why the guy's shortening it up. And they're fit to get and usually they get outrun earlier in the
No
lesser distance.
No doubt.
And they're kind of hidden in price because they're generally coming off a bad race. So I look at that. And then there's the other thing that makes me look to play. There's a handful of not a handful, a few trainers and a few riders that are way over bad.
Yeah.
I look down and I see, I'm not going to mention any names, a horse that I think is supposed to be, 2-1, and it's even money or 6-5. All that means for everybody that kind of a novice fan, the other prices have gone up. So I start looking, because anything can happen to one horse. They can fall, stumble, leaving the gate. Joel was on one the other day. They've never seen a horse actually crawl on the ground. The filly of Billy Mott's for about 3 or 4 strides. It was unbelievable. I don't know how he stayed on her back. And she usually, when they stumble, they pick themselves up in a strider. So when they're gone, she literally was on the ground
Scrambling.
for like 3. I guess the way it was described, Billy was explaining the starter, her back end fell out from under it. She was actually kind of almost laying on her belly.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But turnbacks are good for me and overbet. And, many, many years ago, there was a guy named Clive Hadley that was an absolute, had the 5-10 at Caliente for years. When it first came in to Southern California racing,
The pick six.
I said, Clyde, let's go have a drink. What's your secret? Two winners, you have to single. Simple. What's that? Tough to beat the all button. What the hell does that mean? He said, every big score that I ever made, and he made, 60, 80, $100,000 scores at Caliente when back in the day, that was a zillion dollars. Every score I made, I'd all the race, and some horse bomb won. And there was only me and maybe one other ticket that were alive. He said that. So if you're in a pick 3 situation and you can afford it for whatever, take an all every once in a while.
And there's, this is an interesting handicapping discussion, and not so much a handicapping discussion, that's part of it, but a ticket building discussion. Rick Hammerly, Rick is a terrific player, and Hammer is really the first guy that on a regular basis espoused the all button as being necessary in big sequences and on big days, specifically Breeders' Cup. And you think to yourself, oh my God, how am I taking 12 or 13 or 14? How am I hitting an all button in a Breeders' Cup sequence? Well, Hammer has done it and has managed to catch some crazy prices. I think in my own personal development of play, we were always taught that you can't do that. You can't hit the all button. But I'll tell you, I've actually gone back to something I hadn't done in a long time, which is back wheel, essentially back wheeling a price. And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, the horse in the nightcap of Ed Pringles, suspiciously named. Horse was 31 on the line, goes off at 33. In fact, we'll talk to Callie because she actually gave the horse out on OTB as well. Bet the horse to win, back wheeled it with all, and then did a reverse tri-key with 4 logicals, 4 by 3 by 1. And so if the horse finishes first, second, or third, he finished second. The exacta paid 103 for every dollar. Had it a few times. I might have been better off actually if he had been third, because the horse that was Chad first and the horse that was third might have done better with the try. It doesn't matter. The all button it's funny that you bring that up as part of an approach.
In reference to myself, I see people catch about 99 of 100 times I do that. I get the first.
You get the favorite, exactly.
It never works for me. And I've gotten beaten like the last stride. The horse is 40-1 those seconds. Like, oh my God, it's tormenting at times. But yeah, it's a way to make a big score for a little bit of money.
Well, you got the budget wise. I mean, it depends on the kind of player you are and what your budget is.
people.
I'll give you one. I want to slip one other thing. It's sort of the opposite approach, a shotgun versus a rifle approach. Yesterday, you had the two favorites in that unique double that Naira offered. Naira offered a King George, Queen Elizabeth, Jim Dandy double. Calandigan and Sovereignty win. Sovereignty was what, 3-5?
Right.
Paid $8 and change.
Wow.
Managed to turn a 4-5 and a 3-5 into a 3-1. And I mean, there's ways to go in both directions.
My angle I tell people this: when a horse gets under 2-1, I'm always a guy that thinks, don't bet flat on this one. Try and create a price either with an exacta or with a pick 3 going or a daily double going forward. So you're risking, you're not going to make a whole lot at 8-5. So if you adhere to that and you back, with an exacta, my other play is if I bet to win, basically speaking, 4, 5, 6, 8-1. I bet $20 to win rather than people bet place and show. For me, there's no value. I usually, if I bet $20 to win on a 5-1 shot, let's say, I'll take 3 or 4, say $2 exactas with that horse second, with the logical horses to win. And you'd be surprised. You don't risk, 20 and 20. You're risking 20 and 6 or 8. And if you do catch the exacta, usually get your money back and obviously more, even for $2.
Yeah.
So
I do that too a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to play.
And yesterday, for instance, the Daisy Flyer, Lake George to Sovereignty, Jim Dandy, paid $22.70. I mean, 1640 on Daisy Flyer. Rusty Arnold, by the way, if you, he's only been training 40 plus years.
He's amazing.
If you have not figured out that Rusty Arnold, if he's entering, and granted, okay, it's Calumet, they like to run and all that nonsense. Rusty Arnold's an absolute assassin, an assassin.
And he's, what's really amazing with the statement, he's an amazing. His horses never seem to be big favorites. They're not big.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Amazing. He's
100%
really good.
He's Rusty. We love Rusty. And we miss having him here daily, too.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, if you did not hear, Ellis is canceled today and tomorrow on a heat thing. Yes. So no Ellis today, no Monday Ellis, which is actually a lot of fun having a big Monday signal. Not that Indy and Finger Lakes aren't big and the like. So, Ronnie,
appreciate it.
Outstanding.
Where are you sending the check?
I'll bring you a bagel. You and Nancy singing tonight? Are you doing a floor show?
I'm not sure.
Huh?
We're not singing.
Come on, Steve and Edie.
We might
do a little Steve and Edie.
I want to see you do it.
No, nobody wants to. Believe me, no one wants to see me sing.
There's one thing I can sing a little bit.
Can you really?
Yeah, I was in a
choir
when I was in high school.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
But I'm not going to do
what, like the whippoorwills or one of those or you must have been a doo-wop guy. No doo-wop.
Long time ago.
Barbershop quartet?
No, it was just a choir in high school. But I can sing a bit. A little.
You got a pitch pipe?
No.
You got Ron Anderson. You got laughs, folks. Always fun.
Thanks.
One of my favorite radio guests of all time.
Thank you.
He's the greatest. And this is
Appreciate
TV.
you guys.
You get to sing him as well.
Yeah.
Appreciate the visit.
This is what's left of them.
Listen to you.
As I say, kind of the gold standard of jockey agents, Ron Anderson. We'll take a break. We have one more quick segment coming up with Callie, so stay tuned. Loose on the Lead continues.
We got 14.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
It only takes one upset to make history, and now you can be part of Saratoga's long tradition at the Dark Horse Mercantile. The Dark Horse Mercantile offers a carefully curated selection of clothing, gifts, and home decor, from one-of-a-kind vintage racing memorabilia to select brands like Barber and Under Armour, as well as exclusive Dark Horse branded merchandise. So celebrate the Dark Horse in all of us at the Dark Horse Mercantile, downtown Saratoga, where the smart bet is always the Dark Horse. Haven't signed up for a Capital OTB account yet? Now's the time to take advantage of the sign-up bonus. Open up a new account with $200 or more, bet $400 by the end of the month, and receive a bonus $200 into your account. Plus, you can take advantage of everything an OTB account has to offer: wagering from any device, live streaming, racing info, past performances, online promotions, and more. Sign up today and take advantage of the new account bonus. Details at capitalotb.com.
We're back on Loose on the Lead on this Sunday morning. Ron Anderson having joined us, Johnny V earlier, and we'll close out the morning with Callie Francois. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Very good.
I'd say it's a lovely Sunday morning, but that's only because I like riding in the rain. So now it's a little bit chilly. But
You like riding in the rain?
in the moment when you're riding in the rain, it's actually very quiet. So yeah, I agree.
Okay.
But at the after the effects, you get cold, gets windy. That's what I don't like so much.
You got on just it was a quiet morning, right? Just a couple of.
It was super quiet out there on the main track. Yeah. So but make no bones about it, I'm immediately making a Starbucks run to just warm myself up for the rest of the day after this.
Yesterday, you kicked off Saturday coverage.
Yep.
Callie will be doing paddock cuts the last 5 races each Saturday. And, of course, that includes a lot of stakes action. And talk first about, we'll skip around, but let's go right to, because Seth and I haven't had a chance, talk a little bit about the Jim Dandy and what is clearly a horse that is in right now just another zip code.
We're talking a little bit of apples and oranges compared to a lot of basically the rest of them out there. I mean, we've got Sovereignty. Moplex just set it up so well for him, but then Sovereignty, where we are starting to get accustomed to a little bit of a newfound style that he's got. But that's what I love is that he's
about here the crowd was going, ooh.
Yes.
He's done this every win.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's going to be extrapolated a little bit more when you have a shorter field. So that's kind of what happens. But, he's an ultimate professional. He takes a beat on the backside, and then you can see he just went just rocking as soon as Junior just kind of set the tone. Off he goes. So
he's asking a little bit here, but
it's not a concern.
No, it's not,
because he's one of those that you kind of need to. He's a bigger kind of Lamutzi kind of horse, so you kind of need to get into him a little bit here. So Junior has to do, even though he's extremely obviously talented, he's just a type that you kind of need to get into a little bit early. So never be, in his future races, never be concerned about when Junior digs in. If he's digging in at the half, don't be concerned.
Wins here, Baeza and Hector Berrios, absolutely
very good ride by Hector.
Well, and I didn't hear anybody. Yeah. I didn't hear anybody complain when Irad Ortiz floats a horse off the turn. Irad, nobody had a word to say about Hector doing that. But if you didn't see it, Hector absolutely carries him out a couple of paths.
Yeah.
Go back to the backstretch. Exactly.
It's race riding.
And I don't know why Irad gets singled out for critique.
And it's because, we never see Berrios come over here. He doesn't come over to Saratoga too often. Well, everybody's just kind of used to seeing that Irad do that. He's up here. It just makes him an easy target for people like that. But to me, that's Irad just race riding. That's nothing that's I'm going to be complaining if I'm riding on the outside of him, but he's doing his job.
100%.
Yeah.
Go back. We could watch it again if you guys want to cue it up again. Hey, Callie, there's a maxim in racing that any single racehorse will give you 1 run. A good horse will give you 2 runs, and exceptional horses can be switched off a couple of times and respond to being asked at maybe 3 different times. This feels like a horse that can be given cues, can switch off and then switch back on readily.
To an extent, we saw an example of at least 2 examples of that here. Even you see it, we're seeing stretch run, but Steve, I think you're referring to what we kind of saw a little bit on the backside action. So and that's kind of a token of how great a class of a horse he is. But go ahead.
No, you're good. If you didn't see Berrios there in deep stretch with the right hand, making sure that Baeza was keeping an eye on his foe and engaging.
Yes, and that's just another tactic. So I think you get to, and what's great kind of about American racing, especially American dirt racing, we do in retrospect to other areas of other parts of the world, really, you get to see a little bit of that here. So it's just another example. Again, I think when it comes to jockeys race riding, there is a very clear fine line of when you're overdoing it, but you have to allow them to do their craft in the afternoon.
What does anybody do at this point? Obviously prepping for Travers, and we'll see who chooses to show up. How's anybody beating this horse?
I don't have an answer for that either. Zero answers for that, Steve.
One thing we also have not discussed yet, and maybe in coming weeks and later in August when the Pacific Classic rolls around, because we'll see what journalism and Michael McCarthy and Eclipse choose to do with him. But Nisos yesterday, if you did not see the San Diego, better, if you're projecting all the way down to the Breeders' Cup, we may have a confrontation. I mean, Nisos and Sovereignty feel like the older horse and 3-year-old.
And and those connections should expect a horse like Nikos to pop up like that. So that's that's the nature of our game. So I don't think that we're going to be having a contender that's going to be coming in fresh and zippy for sure. But that's I really just and here we have it. But
thanks guys, good job.
Journalism deserves a little bit of time in between these showdowns.
I wouldn't rush him along. But it does seem that he's going to stay on the West Coast. A 102 buyer for Nisos. That just is posted. We still don't have figs from yesterday here. And by the way, in the Bing Crosby, pretty big 18-1 upset. Lovesick Blues upset the
also
the
worth
Bing,
mentioning the
105.
debut winner Brandt looked good yesterday.
That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. But watch for Nisos here. He's going to basically pounce and motor away, and watch the acceleration here late.
And this is fantastic performance, all well and good. Just keep an eye out for the field and how this field turns out coming. And as far as the excitement level of when you talk about a horse like Nisos coming against the types of journalism, just keep an eye out from this field how the rest of this field carries on from this effort. So that's kind of that. I'm not going to be quick to jump on that train too much.
All right. Well, he took a step forward, and we'll look for the Pacific Classic. Talk a little bit. You gave out it's funny. You and I ended up on a similar horse, or the same horse.
Right.
When you're doing the paddock work, when it comes to long shots, what can you tell people besides telling them about a horse? In this case, the 30-1 shot that finished second, Romero Murad with that gambit. I don't mind that trying to run off.
Well, from a rider's perspective, if you see the young kid going off on a 33-1 shot, that's you're going to let him go, and that was the big advantage that happened in that race right there. So, and when you're taught, that was a sprinter that could just keep going and going and going, because his half sibling had only one win, and that was the only try on the turf going around ground.
There you go.
So, and it was going to the lead as well. So that's
stretch out.
Yep. So now circling back to when this horse came into the paddock very, very much an antsy sprinter. To be quite frank, that was acting a little bit like a long shot. So they had him hosed off, but he had a great dapple to him. He was a bit alert. He kind of shone out when the tack came on him. He kind of just switched off. He became a really quick professional. And for me, that's where it kind of stood out to me, where it says if you're talking about a horse that's a long shot that walks in a little bit antsy, a little bit too much on toes. So then I see this horse get tacked on. I'm not going to say I saw a little bit of a completely different horse. So that's where it caught my attention as well there. Just in decent enough condition. That's when you're talking about horses stretching out, he fit the bill as well.
Well, and then you actually had the sort of the exact opposite on Friday. Go back to the Amsterdam, and Chad's short-priced favorite that was studdish, was screeching, came into the paddock just bellowing. And really never settled down. And it took a bunch of actually, this is it. Was it the Amsterdam, the short priced, which was the horse of Chad's that he had the two of them, and the short priced favorite finished third.
Getting there. Give me a second. You're talking about Friday's card, right?
Was it Friday?
I'm being said in my ear. They're asking was it
Red? This Red Violet.
The Curlin. Thank you.
We go,
it was the Curlin Thursday. You're right. 100%. Good job.
Yeah.
The horse was strategic focus.
Yeah.
Yep.
3 to 5, and if you saw him in the paddock, you threw him off. Absolutely threw him out of your tickets.
Yep.
He was a mess, and he ran okay.
Because he did all of his work in the paddock.
Yeah, exactly.
All of his focus was there.
Exactly.
Yep.
I think this is going to be a very interesting race going forward.
Yeah.
We'll see how everybody, and boy, so Sandy looks like a winner here. And
Yep.
Chance, by the way, I'm so glad that this came up, because this is something I want to talk about on the radio this week.
Sure.
Mig years ago talked to me about how horses, when there's a horse coming to you, you're on the inside, horses coming to you here, and they won't go by, and then all of a sudden a third horse enters the picture, and now suddenly the horse in the middle carries from the horse on their outside. They wouldn't go by the horse on the inside,
right?
But now something comes to their outside, and they engage for a
because
reason.
the eventual middle horse gets happy to get up there with company, and then just gets a little bit complacent. It's just happy to be there. It's just new. It's new stimuli coming in from that outside horse that's just kind of re-engaging and reawakening. That's really it. Yeah.
There was so much, actually, the last few days. There's been a lot of good racing, and there's a lot we'll talk about it during the week on the radio.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up here. But before we do, I want you to, I didn't play yesterday. I would have beat Bick yesterday, but
I tried to.
I know, and I thought that was a real opportunity for people to beat Bick.
Well, I used Sandman. I got to talk to Mark Cassie. You did that piece. I watched the show yesterday, and you guys you did the piece about Sandman and experimenting with the blinkers. I mean, what does Mark do now?
That's a question for Mark to answer.
Right.
To be honest, I'm not. I was very much on the train of honestly putting blinkers on him earlier down the road. So, but yeah, this is a case where you check how this horse is doing 2-3 days later, and then Mark will probably have answers next week.
Very good. Very good. Well, Beat Bick today happens to be out at Del Mar. Use the Eddie. I was a little worried about the weather, so we used the Eddie Reed. It's quite good, actually. Gold Phoenix, kind of logical, but I thought that Stay Hot might be tough to reel in on the front end. NTRA.com/NHC/Beat Bick.
And don't they have PPs available for the race?
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
So.
You either come with me, and if I'm right, you qualify. If you pick, like yesterday, I picked Sandman. If you picked Sovereignty, you're qualified for the September final and a chance to get to Las Vegas. And speaking of Vegas and performances, what are you performing tonight for?
I'm not performing tonight.
Come on.
I'm coming in last. I'd be last minute on the ticket, so I'm gonna be supporting for sure. But no
Sabrina Carpenter thing, maybe.
No show for me. No
Madison Beer thing. No,
not this year. Sorry.
Do you sing?
In the car for sure.
All right.
And again, that's tonight across the street. Vapors over at the harness track. PDJF karaoke, always a lot of fun. So put that on your agenda. I'll be playing the Pick 3 bankroll today on behalf of the team. I'm going to look at scratches, and we'll post the plays a little bit later on for the team members. So you can check it out. If you didn't make the team, you can do it. If you didn't get on this week's team, again, it's every other week. So another couple of weeks, we'll have another Pick 3 bankroll team. And we're opening up next week's syndicate today as well on the website. So capitalotb.com. Check that out.
Dark horse? What's your dark horse?
I'm being told it's scratched. I had a turf horse, and I said I'm going to stick with it. It was a first-time starter, but I will post something on Twitter, and they'll show it on TV later. I'll come up with another dark horse play today. Your Kabbalah play was
Conquering Cat, the 4 and the 4th, 6-1, and that price could hold. It's a fun race. Chris Davis. And Louis Science. I like Chris Davis.
Yeah, I'm a fan of whatever. I'm a fan of Chris Davis shipping. Yeah, I think that's a really good angle.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll wrap it up for this edition of Loose on the Lead. Seth Merrow, Steve Vick. Callie, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks to Ron Anderson, John Velazquez. Thanks to you for tuning in. Enjoy the races this afternoon. We'll be back Wednesday morning. Handicappers report at 9 a.m. Racing across America at 10. We'll see you then.
It's been referred to as possibly the best equine-themed gift shop on the planet. Impressions of Saratoga. Impressions of Saratoga, celebrating the Saratoga and equestrian lifestyles. It's your number one choice for Saratoga souvenirs, apparel, and gift shopping. We have gifts for the entire family, and we're pet-friendly too. Visit us online at impressionssaratoga.com or come on down. Impressions of Saratoga, 368 Broadway, downtown Saratoga.
You like free money? Well, Capital OTB gives its players plenty of opportunities to cash in. At Capital OTB, there are so many ways for horse players to receive bonus dollars by simply participating in promotions such as our bankrolls, bounty bets, online handicapping contests, and much, much more. Plus, with Capital OTB's Player Rewards Program, you get actual cash back. So what are you waiting for? Log on today at capitalotb.com or capitalotbbet.com and claim your free money. From the backstretch at Saratoga, this is Loose on the Lead with Steve Vick and Seth Merrow. Loose on the Lead is sponsored by